This is Andy's interview. Take one. Okay, some of these questions may not apply to you directly, so you can just answer them however.
Like I'm not me.
No, you can just answer them to your best and we'll move on.
Okay.
Um, yeah, y'all done prep me, so I'm just gonna go into my bag from when I used to be a child actor. I really was, you know.
What happened?
Oh, I quit to pursue my dreams of going to med school. Ask me how that's going. Oh.
I'm Andrew Horrocks. I own AMA Recording Studio, and that's where we did the amazing new Reharm album.
What was your experience, working with the band?
Well, one thing that was interesting for me is that I don't get a chance to do very many jazz records or very many fusion records. So it was like sort of a breath of fresh air. Usually I'm working with a singer-songwriter, and sort of troubleshooting the songs, working with them to make the songs as good as they could be. And it's a certain process, and that's what I'm in that world. But to have 7 cool dudes come in the studio and you just sort of get to capture what they do, it's a different experience. And actually, one of the real fun things for me was the fact that years and years and years, a million years ago, I went to Humber College, so I studied jazz, and I love jazz, and I love fusion. So it was a different sort of project for me to work on, and a real enjoyable, probably like I only get to do a record like this once every 3 or 4 years. So yeah, it was good.
It's been a learning experience. It's been, I'd say, positive, amazing. I've seen myself grow musically, working with the band. I've constantly gotten to challenge myself musically as well, trying to learn some of the pieces. Fikayo would tell me, "Yo, Chibs, can you come play with us?" When? Oh, today. I'm like, oh, cool. It sends me the song, and I have to listen to it and kind of figure out what to do with his help, obviously. But it's been great. It's been amazing. Yeah.
It's been fun. I think fun is a good way. Inspiring is another word I can use. I think the last time we had worked together, we came for practice with Priye. We just jammed a little bit. A lot happened then. I think you guys were connecting with the artist a lot. That was cool. It's good to see. Somebody was fangirling. I can't remember who now. One of your band members. So that was fun to see, and then and that was a good interaction. But apart from that, yeah, I think that's been.
I think it's just a blend of different genres coming together. Jazz fusion, gospel influences, funk, pop. All that type of stuff. I think it comes together wonderfully to create amazing sounds.
One of the things I really enjoyed about working on the record was the attention to detail. So how there's so much thought put into really every note. Every note was important. And when you're recording, engineering somebody, or helping produce something, every note is important. And when the artist you're working with feels that way, it's special because you're kind of on the same page and you're all pulling in the same direction. Another really cool aspect of it, which was different for me, was the African influence. So it was jazz and fusion, but there was always this African music influence that sort of washed over the guys and washed over the parts. And you'd be doing a certain type of groove, and then suddenly, oh, this is our African groove. And so that just made it more fun. And it's just the last few years I've been working with a lot more people from Africa or whose influences are African, and so it's my son-in-law's from Africa, and so it's just a fun thing for me to look at musical it makes the music more deep.
Yes, well, I think also as well the integration of different like musical elements is kind of apparent. Super nice that you had a string section in the last show that you did. That was random and like one of those unexpected things, and I think you pulled it off well. You didn't ask for a criticism, but I'll offer one anyway. The songs could be shorter in this 2021. We could use less than 7-minute jams, but they're fun either way.
What were your initial thoughts when you heard about them?
I'm not quite sure. First time started off as was it PDF? PDF was the initial trio, but I think the band in full. I had the opportunity to play with Daniel and Seyi and Kola before. I've seen them play. I've seen them work. So I was excited. Honestly, that was my first thought. And, oh man, it has to be Trace's 2020 when I played percussion for Reharm. That's my first time playing percussion on stage, and I think I messed up a little bit. That last that last hit was not supposed to happen, but no one noticed except the band, obviously. But yeah, that was fun.
One of the most fun or memorable things about working with this group of guys is that, and this is sort of maybe a common thing too. Again, more of an African thing, is that music and dance are all connected. They're one thing. And so I'd be behind the board and I'd be listening, and then out of the corner of my eye I would see the guys dancing or something, just spontaneously, and that was always sort of fun to do.
Yeah, proud. I think it's a creative challenge. It's like a first creative challenge. Get that first bit of music out there. See how people respond to it, see how you yourself respond to it, haven't put out like a creative work, so that's interesting. But yeah, proud and curious to see which direction it goes in.
I think, as far as the favorite track goes, when we were cutting the beds, for some reason, I don't know, I really enjoyed Showdown. And, but then as we got to peel back the layers of the songs and, the parts were becoming more clear, and it wasn't just a bed track, and we weren't just playing to, the computer files. All the songs took on their own kind of space, and like I said before, there's so much detail to all the parts and to the nuances and the layers and the emotion of the songs. So I love them all. There isn't a stinker in the bunch. To me, that's a victory when there's it's all killer, no filler. So yeah.
5-10 years touring Canada and the United States. Actually, well, honestly, the world, but yeah, definitely touring. I think there's a lot of talent, a lot of great music that is being made, and I would definitely love to see the band touring in the next couple of years. Yeah.
I try not to dream on behalf of people. However, I'll take that question and say, the second half of the question, where would I love to see the group growing? I think the kind of music you is designed to be performed live and played for audiences that can interact with it. And so I would love to see, the group get into spaces where they can play music live. In the best musical cities across North America and the world. First of all, that's a great way as musicians to get paid. Like a lot of stuff that you do, streams and all that stuff is not really a great sustainable business model as a musician or as an artist. However, playing shows and performing live, at the end of each one of those is typically a check coming in. You get it done right. And so as a way to support, the members of the group and what you guys are doing, I think really dominating in the live music space, that's a direction I think that you can really focus in and really excel in, given the personalities in the group as well.
Is there a cover song you think the band could play? like to hear?
Anything by Snarky Puppy? Did I say that right?
You did.
Not Skinny Puppy. Not Skinny Puppy as in the punk band from the 70s, yeah. So, Snarky Puppy, sorry. Do you want me to answer that again?
That was good too.
Okay. Another thing I really enjoyed about working on the album was there were saxophones. When I was in school, in high school, and for a few years after high school, I played saxophone. So again, it's I don't get the opportunity to record a lot of horns here, but every once in a while. So when I do, it's fun because then I get to pick the right microphones and preamps that go along with a horn, because a tenor sax likes a certain kind of microphone, an alto sax likes a different kind of microphone. It's so from the engineer's point of view, it's sort of a fun. You get to flex your muscles a little bit, and that was fun. Can we say what I didn't like? I'm kidding. Let's see.
I feel it's been a long time coming, definitely. I know this album has been in the works for quite some time, and I'm just happy it's finally being released to the world. I've had the privilege of hearing a couple of tracks or snippets from the album, and it's gonna be great, guys. Watch out, it's amazing stuff.
Ooh, a song to play, 24K Magic, Bruno Mars. I might also give you another Bruno Mars song, Versace on the Floor, but I don't know who will sing it. How Deep Is Your Love, PJ Morton's version. Dun, 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 dun. Only because you play sax, Paul, might get you like an FKJ song in there, or like a Sego song in there, just to have you go off for me, I think that genre of music is a real door open for like live bands, especially the breadth of instruments that you guys have got. Yeah.
One of the things that was really great about this project was that I grew as well. There's lots of projects. I would probably think that with every project I do, I'm still learning, even though I've done this for 35 years. I still learn every time I work with a different person, and that person just might be, a 16-year-old who's just written 5 songs or 2 songs, and I still learn stuff, right? Working with the guys, I learned a lot, and I was challenged. They challenged me with tone and with especially with the drum sounds. The guys really had a certain kind of sound in their heads, and so I had to get out of my comfort zone and try to find ways of providing them with what they were looking for, because it's their record. It's not my record. It's I'm not happy until the guys are happy.
Johnny and Donna. Is that the song? Yeah. That's the song. You taking a solo set the last show? That was nice.
Wait, what am I supposed to do?
I think he just wanted you in the shot.
Oh, okay.
This camera can't see your face.
Oh, so I have to sit? Oh, okay.
Wait for the
Say
camera.
hi to the fans.
Hi guys, I'm Pam.
Tell us about that time when you yelled into the guitar.
Oh.
You made it into the album.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, there was just that one funny moment when we were tracking guitars, and basically guitar pickups that are just little microphones that are on electric guitar. So, and these pickups basically just pick up the vibration of the string. So depending on the guitar and depending on the pickup, you can yell into a pickup and it comes out the amplifier and goes through the distortion and the delay and whatever else you're doing at the time. So anyway, there was one moment where I just leaned towards the guitar player and screamed into his guitar, and it made it on the record, which was fun. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well.
It didn't record now.